Hey, my name is Shi and welcome to my daily life. So there are one thing that you might not know about me, or actually there are two things that you might not know about me. And the first thing is that I'm a student. And the second thing is that I was a really bad student. And at the beginning of my study, I was a really lazy student. Like I skip a lot of my lectures and also skip a lot of my exercise. I really just do the minimum that was necessary to kind of pass the exam. And even this wasn't enough because I failed so many exams and need to retry it again. And this is why my grade for my bachelor was quite bad. I think I got a D or C grade for my bachelor. I don't want to look it up again. But this changed. This changed when I decided to continue with my master's degree. And from there, I really transformed from a C or a D grade student to an A grade student. Okay, not yet because I'm still not finished, but at the moment I'm an A grade student. So how did I manage it? Well, there's actually one really important reason, and this reason is that I start to learn with the system. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 tips from this system that helped me to transform me from a lazy student to a successful student. Okay, let's start with tip number 1, and this is really fundamental tip. I think you might doing this right now, but it's still necessary to point it out in this video because it's really fundamental. If you're not doing this, you are planning to fail. And what I'm talking about is that you need to have an overview from all the topics that you need to learn. So go through all of your notes or script or book or everything that you use in this lecture and have a good overview about all the topics that is mentioned in this lecture. And don't have an overview just in your mind. Really write them down. Maybe structure them like this, or just use, I don't know, a mind map or something that works for you. And the benefit is clear. You have a good idea where you are right now, where you are at your study, how much process you have, and how much you still need to do. And this will, for example, help you to not to feel so overwhelmed about all the topic because you have a clear idea what you need to know. Okay, and the second tip is about how I actually studied every day. And it's divided in 3 steps. And the first step is to relearn. The second step is to repeat. And the last step is to remind. What I mean by this, let me explain. Okay, step number 1. So after you have the overview about all the topics that you need to know for your exam, you start to study them actually then, right? And therefore, you start to read all the script and all the book and all the notes that you have collect. And then also do all the exercises that is connect to this one topic. And this step, so this relearning, you will do for about 1 to 2 hours every day. Because this is enough. Because after 1 to 2 hours, you will feel a lot of fatigue. And this will be hard for you to consume more new information. So this is why 1 to 2 hours is enough to relearn something new. So this leads to step number 2. So after you relearn it for 1 to 2 hours about a certain topic, you will have a break at first, right? And then you will just repeat it. Repeat it 1 to 2 times or even more, but just repeat it for around 2 hours again. And after you finish this, then you have already studied and also learned a lot about one new topic for around 4 hours on this day. And the last step is the remind step. You will go back to the day before and all the previous day before and remind about all the stuff that you learned. And this will help you to keep everything. This is actually important for you to keep them in the mind, because by remind yourself and also actually repeat it, then your brain will know that this information is really important for you. If you're not doing this, if you just like learn every day something new, you don't tell your brain that the information that you learned yesterday is actually really important. And this is why you need to remind yourself every day about the stuff that you learned the previous day before. And the last tip that I want to share with you is that you need to teach your knowledge to someone else. Maybe if it's possible to someone who actually don't have much knowledge about this topic. Why? Because in this moment, when you try to explain to someone who actually don't have much knowledge about it, you really need to make it easy. And in this moment, in this very moment, you will see if you really understand the most important things about the topic that you want to explain to this person. Because if you try to explain to someone who studies the same like you just tend to use all the buzzword and also make it really easy, like, yeah, he should know what I talk about. And you really use this as an excuse to not to describe it more, because you assume that this person actually knows this already, right? But if you explain it to someone else who don't have the knowledge, you want to make sure that this person really understands what you want to tell them. Okay, so we are at the end of this video, and those are the 3 tips that helped me a lot to transform myself to be a better student. And tip number 1 is that you need to have a good overview about all the topics that you need to learn for your exam. And the second tip is the system that I use for my daily study. So relearn, repeat, and then remind. And the last tip that I shared with you is that you need to teach your knowledge to someone else. If possible, teach it to someone who don't have that much knowledge about this topic. Okay, so we are at the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed it and also find it really helpful for yourself. And maybe you will use one of those tips for yourself. If so, feel free to press the like button, also to subscribe to my channel to support me. And until then, thank you for watching and see you next time on my next video.